These dogs can be incredibly hard to live with. You can't walk them long enough. You can't exercise them hard enough. You cannot throw that ball or frisbee enough. When you return home from exercising them or walking them, they still want more. So their ball or frisbee is then thrown again and again because they're still showing high energy, and we misread that as a need for more. We will get to ball obsession later and show you 3 ways you can truly help these dogs get some calm into their lives. So, how do you know your dog is overly excited or hyper? These dogs have poor impulse control, very little emotional regulation, and constantly want to be on the move. They can have difficulty listening. They may be mouthy, jumping, spinning, and barking. They usually are unable to settle or rest, and they may be fixated on moving toys like balls or frisbees. These dogs are often panting when moving and sometimes have an almost manic look. Overexcited, highly energetic, and hyper dogs are hard to live with. They have no off switch. These dogs can have incredible stamina. Reactive dogs can also have these hyper, overexcited issues. Walking these dogs is also difficult because they're likely dragging you far behind them. These dogs can jump up at you or others. They lack impulse control and generally don't listen well either. Tomorrow and the next day will be exactly the same unless we look at how to help them. We're going to look at why your dog is doing this, and please don't skip that part. It's vital to know this information. And 3 ways to help them and help you too, as these dogs can be incredibly difficult to live with. Increasing physical activity is not the answer, and it can fuel the very behaviour you want to stop. Unfortunately, many people make the same mistake with these overexcited hyper dogs by exercising them harder, faster, and for longer, but they will always crave more and more, and it's usually much more than many people can give them. So why are these dogs like this? Here it gets a little bit tricky. We're going to talk about adrenaline for a minute. Adrenaline and stress hormones, such as cortisol, are released with both negative and positive stimulus. That means throwing that ball again and again or exercising them longer or harder can cause adrenaline levels and stress hormones to be released over and over again, and they can stay high. We can inadvertently fuel the very behaviour we don't want. Those hormones, they are powerful. Remember being on your first roller coaster as a child? Fun, but stressful too. Your dog can experience fun and stress at the same time. Adrenaline is so powerful, it can be sought after by dogs again and again. Adrenaline and other stress hormones can stay in a dog's system for days and days. For hyper or over-aroused dogs, they're getting exposure to adrenaline and cortisol again and again every day, which is why we really need to help them. Because adrenaline can make a dog crave more, do more, want more, and struggle to relax, remain still, or be calm. Now let's look at ways we can help them. You won't see improvements straight away, as it won't happen immediately, because those stress hormones need to lower, and that can take a while. But if you stick with this, you will likely see vast improvements. Number 1, more nose work and enrichment. A dog that uses their nose more helps them to relax more. This helps naturally lower those stress hormones. They start to use their nose more than eyes, and that's desperately needed by these dogs. Dogs relax more when their nose and brains are engaged. They will likely need taught how to do this, so you can encourage this just by saying find and scattering some food on the lawn or backyard. Start with a small area, 1/2 metre by 1/2 metre. Say find and scatter a few pieces of food in that 1/2 metre area. Repeat a few times a day and gradually expand that area to a few metres. Then a few days after that, scatter it far and wide in your yard. Say find and watch what happens.
Just throw one piece out and say find.
Fine. Good.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent work.
Boy.
Well done.
That nose goes down immediately sniffing for that food, and their brain is also going to try and figure out the direction of the scent and how to get that next piece. Remember, sniffing is relaxing. They can be out there for half an hour finding their dinner. That is half an hour of enrichment, and some studies have shown it can tire them out far more than physical exercise. It's a different form of exercise that many dogs crave. Use a rolled up towel. Pop some rewards in along the towel. Let them use their nose to discover where those rewards are. If that becomes too easy, knot the towel. Use snuffle mats or licky mats because licking reduces stress too. Puzzles are good, but they can be really boring after a while as they know how to use them, or they can cause frustration. You can use cups and hide a reward under one cup and hide 5 cups around your home, inside and outside, but just one cup has a reward inside. And the whole family can be involved with this too. Enrichment is tiring. That's why we added in for hyper dogs. It can be so tiring, it can help enormously with the next suggestion. Number 2, rest and sleep. This is desperately needed by these dogs. Many hyper dogs need to switch off and settle. They will need you to help with this. 3 times a day, put them in a quieter area, ideally where they sleep at night. You can give them a Kong with a smear of peanut butter inside so they lick, and remember, licking is also relaxing. They may barely doze at first, but stick with it. They desperately need sleep to help them switch that energy off. When they come back from a big walk or a play, you should pop them away for a sleep then, because these dogs can take things to the next level if you don't help them switch off and self-regulate their energy levels. Consider pulling the curtains, covering the crate, and using some music to muffle outside sounds. Number 3, start limiting their exercise and limit the ball and frisbee. You need to slowly lessen the exercise amount while adding in that nose work and enrichment. Depending on your own individual dog, consider lowering it for 10 minutes or make the exercise at a lower intensity. So if you usually run with them, consider walking them briskly instead. Limit their free time just roaming in a yard. These dogs usually don't rest in a yard. They will run, walk, and pace for hours on end. So again, we need to limit that too. You cannot just stop exercise for these dogs. You need to work out a plan of reducing it while implementing all the other steps we've discussed. Ball and frisbee obsession requires limits being placed on it too. Remember that stress hormones are released during fun times also, so limit that exposure to ball games or their frisbee, especially if they're obsessed with it. Play tug, train some tricks with them, get their brain working and use that nose. Limiting heavy play sessions with other dogs is also important. These dogs need us to help them limit those times of high arousal, which again can release those stress hormones from both positive or negative stimuli. Hyper, overexcited dogs cannot self-regulate, and we need to help them do it. All of these suggestions work, but they do take time. Though if you stick with this, you may see small improvements after a few days, but certainly after a few weeks. You can make a huge difference in your dog's life and your own. If you would like to, you can hit the subscribe button or join over 20,000 followers on our Facebook page. There's another video here too if you'd like to learn more about body language. And thanks again for watching, and I wish you all a great day.